found this 70-acre parcel here in Delaplane, Virginia. It had actually been on the market for over a year. Everybody looked at it and it never sold. I think it was waiting just for us. We grow 9 different varietals here on the property at Barrel Oak Winery. It's a little over 20 acres of vines and about 2 acres of each, give or take. The Vidal Blanc, Traminette, Chambourcin, and Céval Blanc are our hybrid varietals that we grow here. And then we also have planted Petit Verdot, Petit Manseng, Merlot, and Chardonnay and Viognier. This coming spring we plan to plant another 2 acres of Norton grapes, and then also perhaps we're considering planting some Cabernet Sauvignon and some Cabernet Franc as well.
Terroir is a French word for this is where the grapes grow. So the first thing that you start with when you're making wine, obviously, is the grapes. Where the grapes are grown, how much rain they get, how long the days are, how hot it is, how high, what the elevation of the vineyard is, all those things, soil type, everything has something to do with how the grapes are going to taste. So yes, we grow 18, 20 acres of vines here. Pretty soon it's probably going to be closer to 30. Those grapes are going to taste different than the grapes that Jim Dolphin grows 2 miles from here because they're growing here. Whether it's a grapevine, a tomato, an apple, it's going to taste different in a different place with different people growing it.
Grapevine is trying to find a way to start a new future generation, hopefully somewhere where that seed will prosper into a grapevine. The only way it's going to make a really bright, colorful, sweet, aromatic fruit is if it's not happy where it is and it feels it needs to be transported off to somewhere else. Then it's going to make that seed very, very attractive to deer, to birds, to fox, to groundhogs, whatever it may be. They could eat that seed and carry it off to somewhere else and hopefully plant it then somewhere where it might be happier. So where we actually want to plant the grapevines is on rocky, well-drained soil. That's why you always see them on steep slopes, so that the water runs off and leaves us with dry, rocky soil, and that actually kind of torturing the little grapevine. We get the sense that the grapes are getting ready, very close to harvest time, when we start seeing a lot of animal and insect activity in the vineyard, and we start tasting the grapes and they're starting to get really sweet. Then we start really narrowing it down with a more scientific method. We can test the sugar levels in the grapes, we can test the acid levels in the grapes, and then we start looking at the weather forecast and you start watching hurricanes come up the coast. And I'm famous for saying we're going to harvest this next Tuesday and then saying, oh, actually, sorry, we harvested it this afternoon. Harvest day always starts bright and early in the morning, and we get out into the vineyard just as the sun's coming up. We throw our harvest lugs, like 30-pound totes for the grapes. We throw those up the rows. You know it's a harvesting day when you hear that sound of a tractor motor running, and then we get out there with the crew right as the dew is starting to get off the ground and whatnot, and we start picking. This is my beloved Petit Manseng. Once we get several rows done, we come through with the tractor again and load all those logs onto a trailer behind the tractor and haul them back to the winery where we put them into our giant drive-in refrigerator. The goal is to get them out of the midday summer sun as quickly as possible. Because the minute you cut them off the ground, that's a produce, it begins rotting. So we want to get it into the fridge as quickly as we possibly can. And that day will go on like that until the sun goes down many times, many times, just to get in 2 acres worth of grapes.